The results of Buckley versus Vallejo was that the candidates have no cap on spending as long as the money is raised from private donors. Many states and local elections have voluntary spending limits, and the result is usually a more level playing field for candidates. Politicians on the federal level are hesitant to back any provision of spending limit because of the reality that more money usually ensures victory at polls.
In 1976, the FEC introduced legislation that cleared the way for public funding in federal elections. To qualify for public funding, candidates must meet certain eligibility requirements. For a primary election, the government matches funds up to $250 for each individual donor after the candidate has demonstrated broad support by raising small amounts of money over a large area. Overall, campaign expenditure of personal funding is limited. For general elections, the party nominee is eligible for a public grant of $2 million for the limit spending to that amount to refuse private contribution. They are allowed to spend up to $50,000 of their own money without counting against the spending limit. With the huge sum of money being raised these days, it should come as no surprise that no major candidate in the 2008 presidential race is going for public funding. Doing so would create a large disparity in available funds and most likely a disadvantage at the polls.
Campaigners argue that excessive spending can make corruption and is basically saying that rich people are buying them. People who oppose this think that limiting speech is a violation of our First Amendment rights to free speech and that if a candidate can raise the money, they should be able to spend it. The court case Bucky versus Vallejo, the court ruled that a restriction on an amount of money a person can spend on political communication during a campaign necessarily reduces the number of expressions by restraining the number of issues discussed.
It was a 5-4 decision. The court repealed a 1990 ruling of its own that had banned corporations from using their money, corporations and unions from using their money to expressly call for the defeat or election of a candidate. Now what this means is that suddenly we have the ability of corporations and unions to go run advertising on television right up to the day of an election, calling for candidates to either be, for voters to vote